Let us continue with firewalls. In this lecture, we will see what is meant by a demilitarized zone, that is DMZ. In computer security, a DMZ, that is a demilitarized zone, is a network which functions as a subnetwork containing an organization's exposed outward facing services. It acts as the exposed point to an untrusted networks, commonly the internet. The goal of a DMZ is to add an extra layer of security to an organization's local area network. A protected and monitored network node that faces outside the internal network can access what is exposed in the DMZ, while the rest of the organization's network is safe behind a firewall. When implemented properly, a DMZ network gives organizations extra protection in detecting and mitigating security breaches before they reach the internal network where valuable assets are stored. Now, what is the purpose of DMZ? The DMZ network exists to protect the hosts most vulnerable to attack. These hosts usually involve services that extend to users outside of the local area network, and the most common examples being email web servers and DNS servers. Because of the increased potential for attacks, they are placed into the monitored subnetwork to help protect the rest of the network if they become compromised. Hosts in the DMZ have tightly controlled access permissions to other services within the internal network because the data passed to the DMZ is not as secure. So as you can see on the screen, this is the internet, and the blue region, this is the DMZ, that is the demilitarized zone. Now in the demilitarized zone, which are the services that are available? That is mail, DNS, FTP and web. Now these services are available in the demilitarized zone, which means if a client wants to connect to the private network or use any of the services that are in the DMZ, the first thing is to pass the packet to the screening router, and through the screening router they can access these services. But if someone tries to intercept with the private network here, now that becomes an issue because that one is protected. Now since private network is not available to the public, it is placed after the DMZ. So in between the internet and the private network lies the demilitarized zone, that is DMZ. Now typically an additional firewall will be responsible for protecting the DMZ and from exposure to everything on the external network. All services accessible to users on communicating from an external network can and should be placed in the demilitarized zone if a demilitarized zone is used in an organization. The most common services are web servers. So you can see Bayesian host web servers, then is mail servers, that is mail servers, FTP servers, and then DNS servers. Now web servers are responsible for maintaining communication with an internal database, and they may need to be placed in the DMZ because some web services are also required by the clients which are outside the private network, that is the internet. So these are the common services which are provided inside the perimeter of DMZ. Now why DMZ is so much important, why the term DMZ is hyped, and why do security experts should have a brief knowledge of firewalls, IDS, antivirus and demilitarized zones. Now on many home networks, internet-enabled devices are built around a local area network which accesses the internet from a broadband router. However, The router serves as both a connection point and a firewall, thus automating traffic filtering to ensure only safe messages enter the local area network. So, on a home network, a DMZ can be built by adding a dedicated firewall between the local area network and the router. While more expensive, this structure can help to protect internal devices from sophisticated attacks, better protects the inside devices from possible attacks by the outsiders. DMZs are an essential part of network security for both individual users and large companies. They provide an extra layer of security to the computer network by restricting remote access to internal servers and information, which can be damaging if breached. In the next lecture, we will see how to evade the intrusion detection system, that is IDS evasion techniques.